What's up, guys? My name is Luke. I am the Offensive Yak, and thank you for joining me today for episode number 21 of our Direwolf20 playthrough. Where in the last episode we got our ender chests off the ground, as well as some other miscellaneous tasks to accomplish said ender chests. In this episode, we're going to start in on our autocrafting. And the first thing we want to autocraft is, well, the stuff we need to autocraft. The components and machines needed to do the autocrafting, we should autocraft first. So we're going to do that right after the intro. Alright, guys, so the first things we're going to want to do to get our autocrafting going, we need crafters, we need the pattern grid. So we're going to start with the pattern grid. It looks like I have very little of what's needed. So we're going to need some patterns. I'll get 17 to start. And we're going to need a grid, which it looks like I just need a construction and a destruction core so that I can make said grid and pattern grid. Perfect. Now, I believe I can recolor this with some red dye, maybe? Yes, I can. Okay, that's really cool. That's a new feature. So we're going to put that there. Okay, so our main terminal is blue. Red is where we do our patterns. Okay, that's really cool. We didn't used to be able to do that. So how this works, this is where you create the recipes that your machines are going to follow when they're auto-crafting things. So, for instance, the first thing I want to be able to auto-craft is going to be patterns. And I need to put this into JI synchronized two-way. There we go. First thing I want to be able to craft is patterns, because we're going to need more of them. And then we're going to need to know how to make quartz enriched iron. Okay. The other things we're going to want to make are going to be our crafters. And we're going to want construction cores. And destruction cores. And machine casings. And really, I should put these through and not do the exact for those of you that don't know, when you have exact checked, it won't use anything that's OR dictionaried with it. So like if I have a different colored glass that would work and I have exact checked, it will not use it. So I like to have exact not checked unless we're having problems with a recipe. So now we're going to need a crafter in order to make this stuff, which means I need a destruction core and a construction core. Okay, now for right now, I'm just going to throw this here. Okay, boom. All of that stuff goes in there. Now I can tell it I want 10 more patterns, and it tells me I'm missing glass. Well, okay. That's fair. But how are we on patterns, actually? I've got 10 more. First, then, I want more crafters. Can I make one? I can make a crafter. Boom. We got another crafter. Just like that, guys. It is that easy, and it's awesome. Now, does refined storage have facades? They do. They have covers. that don't seem to be implemented. Okay. Interesting. That's too bad. Yeah, I would like to be able to make some covers. It's possible there's a recipe for it. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Hopefully that gets implemented at some point. But for now, we're just gonna run cables up here. Yeah. Now, do I even have any cables? I've yet to make cables. No, I haven't. I got cables. Alright, and up we go. Where'd they come out? Right behind our digital miner. That's actually pretty good. And we're gonna want to run them up to the next floor here. Now they will be there. That is where a machine is gonna go. So I'm gonna move him back one here. That'll work. Okay. Perfect. So here we go. I want to turn off my magnet here. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna want to get up and running, I think is gonna be, well, actually it's gonna be a machine that I have not even made yet. Yeah, because I'm gonna want a smelting factory. A basic smelting factory, which comes from an energized smelter, which comes from this, which comes from an osmium. Okay, looks like that is about the end of my osmium. I'm sure I've got more in the digital miner, I hope, but we'll find out. Now, do I have what I need to make it into a factory? Yes. How about a factory tier 2? No, I do not have what I need to make it into a factory tier 2. That's okay. We will get that up and running in the future. So we're going to place this here, but first, going to need some energy pipes. Boom. And boom. Here we go. Okay, so the basic smelting factory, it is a furnace, basically. That's it. You know what you need to know now. No, so it's a furnace, but instead of burning fuel, it burns... Really? It doesn't turn it? How about the wrench from refined storage? Does that turn it? So instead of burning coal or whatever, it uses energy, which is nice. Okay, there we go. The wrench from refined storage, because every technological mod needs a wrench. There we go. And this is how you auto craft things. So we're gonna go to the side config. We want it to be input on the top, and we're gonna output. We'll output on the back, and I'm gonna move these cables back one more. There we go. And we're going to want an interface. Okay, gonna need another destruction and construction core so that I can make an importer and an exporter to make an interface. So the interface is cool. You can basically pipe items into it. Nope, not that. We're going to put the interface right here, and any items along our line here that we are auto-crafting will get piped into it. Although for this particular one, we're not going to need to pipe because the back is going to be output and auto-eject on. And input there, and I want energy on the bottom. So this thing should have power. Yes, it does. And if I grab my blocks and I grab, say, I don't know, stack of cobble, and I stick it in there, boom, it starts to smelt. And it gets muted. It's smelting, it's putting it into here, and these are putting it into the system. It's perfect. So, one of the first things that I actually want to teach that smelter now is glass. I just want to teach it that sand, specifically... Ooh, that's new. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Specifically that sand turns into glass. So we're going to come up here, and we're going to put it in here. Boom. And we're going to go test it. If I grab out a bit of sand, and I tell it I want 10 glass, start crafting. Okay. In a minute, we should get 10 glass. Now, of course, it's actually probably still smelting my stone. Let's go see. Yep, still smelting my stone. Don't worry, we're going to get some upgrades for this thing. And here comes our sand. It is crafting the glass. The glass is going back into here. Boom, where it is going to be imported into the system. And we have 10 glass. So just like that, our system knows how to make glass. That's awesome. So if I wanted patterns, a stack of patterns, we're missing some redstone. Okay. That's not a problem, because we actually do have the redstone. It's just in block form. And we're going to take care of that here soon. I don't know that we're going to take care of it this episode, but soon. Yeah, so that looks pretty cool. All right. So we're good on patterns. So if I go here, I can actually change this display mode to be only the things I know how to craft. So I want to see what we need. So we're good on iron and quartz stuff, machine casings. We're low on quartz, but that's about it. Glass, we know. Destruction cores. So we do not know how to make basic processors. Okay. Or advanced processors. Yeah, okay. And again, basic processors. So those are going to be the next things we're going to teach real quick. We're going to teach it how to make basic processors. And we'll make the improved processor. And the advanced processor. But it's also going to need to know these recipes. And while we're at it, it's going to need to know this recipe. And it's also going to need to know how to make string in the crusher. And do I have, if I go here, let's see. Can I make another crafter? Yes, I can. Not sure what it's crafting at the moment. One of the next things we're going to make is going to be a crafting manager so that we know what it's making. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and work on that now. Looks like we just need one more crafter. Okay. Let's go upstairs and let's see. What's it trying to craft here? Is it... Weird. Yeah, okay, so... Oh, okay, there we go. We have them both. So we want the crafting monitor. And the crafting manager. So here's crafting manager. Crafting monitor. Gonna need a casing. There we go. And while we're at it, we'll hold off on the fluid grid. So what do we want to make these? The crafter manager. Let's do green for the crafters. And let's do brown. Yeah, brown works. Okay, so for the crafter manager, we're going to go with green. And we're going to go with brown for this one. Okay, so let me show you what these guys do. So the crafter manager. I'm going to want him right above there. And I'm going to want the crafting monitor above here. And then our fluid grid is actually going to go right here when we get to that. So here we go. Crafter Manager. It allows me to access any of the crafters in the system. So I no longer even have to go up there to put things into the crafters. So for instance, I know that these four here, the problem is you can't really shift click because, I'm going to need another crafter. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if I can get another one. Looks like I can. Boom, another crafter. Okay. So again, I'm going to temporarily just stick it here. It's going to get that one. Now, these three are all smelting recipes, so they go into the basic smelting factory crafter. If it just says crafter, then it's not attached to a machine. If it has a machine's name, it's attached to a machine. Yeah. And then the crafting monitor will show me what's currently crafting and the steps that it's needing to take. So I need another crafter. Can I make another one? Yes, I can. Okay. And if we go up here, you can see it is currently smelting a couple of our processors, and it finished. There we go. Perfect. So now I'm gonna head back upstairs. And which one's my crushing factor? My crusher? This one is. Boom. And cables. Here. And we're gonna want item pipes. Can I use this wrench? Not what I wanted to do. Doesn't look like that wrench will work for it. That one will. Alright, so the crusher. We're definitely going to want the backside to be the output with auto output. And we're going to go with energy on the bottom, input on the top, and it's going to get string. So now I know how to make string. Just like that. If I wanted 10 more string, boom. And we can see that it's running. It's processing 3 wool to get me 12 string. And let's go up here and just make sure that it is working. It is working. Now it's slow, but it's working. And there's my string. Sweet. That's awesome. So what else are we gonna want? So we've got that, we've got that. Next up, we want a fluid grid. So we need a bucket. I have a bucket that I can put in the system. And we need a grid. The grid we can make everything needed. There we go. And that should be everything. Yes, so now we have a grid and we can craft that crafting thingamabob. That should be long enough. Boom! Fluid grid. Now the fluid grid, we're gonna go with, I'm pretty sure they're already cyan. I think we're gonna try blue and see if that, how that looks. Yeah, it looks like it's darker. Okay, so it's gonna go here. Yeah, okay, that looks good. And we're gonna go ahead and put our ender chest back here with our importer and stack and speeds. Okay, so the fluid grid, it's not gonna do anything right now because I don't have any fluid storage hooked up yet. That is the next thing we're gonna do. So I'm gonna be right back with you guys once I figure out exactly how I want to do it. Alright guys, I am back and doing things. So first thing I did here, I got us a stack and some speed upgrades for this interface so that that won't be a problem anymore. And then we went ahead and made some more crafters, and I filled them with recipes. And let me show you how we're going to handle our fluids. So it's going to be storage. Okay, so you have two options for how to store your fluids in refined storage. You can store them in a disk drive, in a disk, just like we are our items here. The problem with doing that is I cannot limit what fluids go on to what disk. So if, for instance, I hook up an infinite source of water to my system, as I plan to do for the very first fluid that I store in the system, so that I always have water everywhere I need it for whatever machine may need water, it's going to fill up every single fluid disk I have. And yes, I believe I can whitelist things up here, but it whitelists it for all the drives. So we're not going to use a disk drive. Instead, we're going to get a 64K storage part here. And we're going to get... let's see. If I type in 64K, so we can see we've now made our fluid storage part, and we are going to make a fluid storage block. Now we're gonna have to make a few things for it. That shouldn't be an issue. Boom, fluid storage block. Now, I haven't connected it to the system yet, but you can take a look. We can filter this specific block. Okay? Now, the way these work, they don't have to go into a disk drive. Yeah, they take up more space. Is space really a problem, though? For us? No. No, it's not. Not in the slightest. So all we have to do is come back here, and we can put it right here. Boom. And then I'm going to grab myself a bucket of water. And I think, actually, this is something I do want to check. So if I grab the bucket of water from over here, can I... no, but I can grab just the plain old water. And... okay, apparently that's what tab does. Okay, so now this one is filtered. It will only accept water. So, let me show you what happens when I come over here and I go to our fluid grid, and I thought I could click water in. Can I not click water in? Oh, because it's on blacklist mode. Yeah, that helps. Okay, so now it's on whitelist. It's whitelisting water. Boom! I have a bucket of water in the system. Just like that. I got a bucket of water in the system. And I will now have basically unlimited water. Once I hook up an unlimited water source like an aqueous accumulator, which is probably the next plan, I'll have basically unlimited water here. So that's awesome. Also, I just noticed that Thermal has a diving suit. What? I don't know. But, yeah, we're going to hook up an aqueous accumulator at some point in the nearish future so that we can have a bunch of water. But what we can also see here, if I grab out one of these buckets and my red ender bucket, this is going to be a little bit dangerous because I'm going to put... Okay. How is it empty? What? I filled this with lava. That lava did not go anywhere. Excuse you? Okay. I don't know where the stuff went. Is there anything in my blue bucket? Water. I honestly do not know where that lava went. But anyways, if I come over here and I grab a bucket of lava and I try to put that in here, you'll notice it will not go in here. Exactly how we want it, so that it's not going to go into that block. Now I could set a block to have multiple things. If I know I'm only going to have 1 or 2 buckets worth of something, I can set one of these to have multiple items on whitelist. So these can hold 64 buckets worth. Because a bucket's 1,000 millibuckets. They hold 64,000 millibuckets, so it's 64 buckets worth. These are the smallest of the fluid storage blocks. But yeah, if we want to store lava, we will need another fluid storage block. And that is exactly how I want that to be done. The other thing I went ahead and did... is I did program in how to make speed and energy upgrades from Mechanism. We just need to learn how to do osmium dust. And apparently sand. And for the energy ones, we just need some gold dust and more sand. We've just used up all the sand that I had put into the system, but that's not a problem. Boom, there's more sand. Now I'm guessing it's going to say, yeah, it's just missing the gold dust. And here's just missing osmium dust. Yep. So we need to program in gold and osmium dust, which we could make in the crusher or the enrichment chamber. The enrichment chamber from ore, but I'm not planning to always have ore on hand. So we're gonna go with the crusher version of both of these. You can't make gold dust? Or is my game frozen? My game is not frozen. Apparently, you can't make Mechanism gold dust. What? Excuse me? Okay, so if I want to make the energy upgrades, okay, it's using the FTB Contraptions gold dust, which is in a crusher. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, that'll just be not a problem. Let's monitor. Here we go. Crafter Manager. So both of these are going to go into our crusher there. And now I should be able to make 8 energy and 8 speed upgrades. And we're going to go ahead and head up there so that I can speed up our crusher and our smelter. Okay. Boom and boom. All right. First thing we're going to upgrade with these. Oh, it takes all 8 of them at a time now. That's actually really cool. So the speed upgrades make these faster. The energy upgrades make it so that it uses less energy. So now, well, I don't know how much it's going to use, but we'll find out. So it looks like the only other upgrade I could add to this would be the muffling upgrade, but we're not going to use those because I've already muted it. So the muffling upgrades, if you add 8 of them, it makes it silent. All right, so let's get another 8. Okay, now I have not yet taught it infused alloys. And I'm guessing we're going to be short infused alloys and osmium on this one. But that's quite all right. I've got plenty of the osmium here. And how are we processing it? I mean, obviously we can just smelt it, but is there anything smarter? Like the enrichment chamber gets us 4 osmium dust. Yeah, that's probably our best bet, is the enrichment chamber. Up a little farther. I've got an enrichment chamber right here. And just like that, we've got osmium dust for days. Basically, this is giving us 1 1/3 ingot per. Okay. Oh, because it takes 3 of them. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to put the rest of these into the smelting factory. And yes, I do know that some of them are going to almost immediately get crushed back down, but that's okay. So now I still need to teach it how to make infused alloys. Okay. So that's going to be over here. We're going to teach it boom, except we're not going to teach it the redstone. It's just going to be iron makes an infused alloy. Okay. And we're going to need another few crafters. Can I get 10 more? No. Can I get 1 more? Yes. All right. I got up here just in time to see it finish. There we go. Crafter. And cables. And I'm going to need the wrench. Okay. And which one of these? This one has the redstone. Okay. So we're just going to put this on top. And we're going to wrench it into place. Boom. And you get this pattern. Boom. And then let's just make sure that our side, we've got input on the top, and we are going to be output on the back, auto eject on, and that. And then we're going to need our item pipes. Boom, and gonna need our crescent hammer. May as well just set all of these up here to be extracted out the back while we're at it. Okay. Now, obviously, we have not set up the redstone of that yet. That's okay. We will get to it. Boom and boom. Perfect. Perfect. It is working. So you can see it is crafting. Currently crafting our infused alloys and our gold dusts. And over here, so it's saying that the osmium dust can't go in, but that's because the gold is in there right now. And so it's just a little bit busy. And our iron is processing into our infused alloys. This will make us some more upgrades, and we can go from there. But that's going to be it for today, guys. I do appreciate you being here. My name is Luke. I am the Offensive Yak, and thank you for joining me. If you're liking this content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to leave some comments down in the comments section. You know where the comments go, and tell me what mod you want me to get into next. We got a little bit left to go here on refined storage, getting this up and running, some more mechanism, but hey, I'm always looking for another good mod. So let me know in the bottom. And well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Offensive Yak out.